How about that?
Yeah. Okay,
Hello,
absolutely.
everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Ginge Pedro Show. I am, of course, your host, Mr. Sugon My D. Alongside me is the one and only Pedro Wang.
Sagan Medi. Nice.
Yeah,
Is that like Sumerian or something? Like I don't know. Like
it is ancient Sumatran, right next to
okay.
Samaria. Right, it's where you get the
Yeah,
Sumatran coffee
gotcha.
beans, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. No, the ones that lemurs shit on the ground and
Well,
then people ground them and drink. Dude, that's like
that's
meth addict shit, man.
yeah. No, I've never had that. I mean, I only know that from the
So
bucket list.
I mean, it's supposed to be great,
Yeah.
but I mean, I've had like the most expensive coffee you can get in Panama.
Mhm.
It's called geisha coffee, and it doesn't need to go through the track of any animal. And it's
Mm,
amazing. Like
mm,
they recommend you don't even put like sugar or milk or anything. You just have to drink it
no doubt.
straight, and it
Mhm.
has like the tones of pineapple
Mm,
and apple. It's really
wonderful.
good. It's really good,
Yeah.
and
No.
it wasn't shit out by any animal. So
Yeah. That's a plus. That's a plus. No, that's is interesting
yeah.
though. About a year or so, maybe a year and a half ago, I
Mm-hmm.
was getting into coffee. Like, it took
Mm.
me a really long time to come around to coffee for some reason. And I had
Yep.
a problem with energy drinks for a while, and I haven't
Mm.
had
Okay.
one since I quit. Right.
Nice.
But I did try a bunch of different coffee, and I sort of weaseled my way in with like heavy cream, and where it didn't taste like coffee. But
Mm.
I tried Turkish
Yeah.
coffee, right? I tried Turkish
Mm.
coffee about a year ago, bro, and that
Yeah.
changed the game for me. That
Nice.
um, doesn't need cream or sugar, and if you do it right,
Mm.
like I have I do like I got the little pot, right? So you cook it traditionally, scoop the cream into the
Mm.
cup first, right? You get the actual cream from cooking the coffee. You don't let it
Yeah.
boil, because if you boil it, that's where
Mm.
it turns bitter, apparently.
Yeah. It ruins it. Yeah.
Right, but
You ruin it.
if you have it cooked just right, dude, there's really, really sweet
Ah, dude.
chocolatey notes. It tastes like some rich chocolate. It's
Yeah,
delicious,
dude.
man.
Okay,
Yep.
so now that Panama is a peaceful country again,
Hmm.
if you ever can come down here, dude, we have really great coffee. Like
Yeah.
Panama has won like the number one. There's like coffee Olympics. I mean, that
Hmm.
sounds nerdy, but whatever. We're
No.
nerds.
Yeah.
Panama won it like 5 years in a row from 2010 to 2015. In
Yeah.
2016, Colombia beat us. We
Hmm.
won again in 2017, and it's been like Colombia, Panama, Colombia, Panama
Yeah. They were
ever
putting
since. So
cocaine in the beans that year.
yeah, yeah. No, no, like Colombian cup is really good too, but
Yeah.
we're no slouch.
No,
Yeah,
I
we're no slouches down here. So
Pa- Panama is one of the things I've heard about in terms of like coffee
mhm.
being one of the spots,
Yeah,
like the beans. But yeah,
hmm
okay.
yeah,
So maybe our guest likes coffee, buddy. I see him in the
yeah,
background there. I don't want to leave him hanging for too
yeah.
long. So we do have. I believe this is the making the threepeat, the thrice returning guest, Mister Dojo Kun Comics, commonly
Doja
known.
Kun.
Yeah, three times. I see him holding up the sloth fingers back there. We got a
Nice.
three-peat. So he's in the upper echelon of returning guests at this point. I think
There you
we
go.
have a lot of
There you go.
twos, but it starts to drop off at the threes. Maybe that says something
Hmm
about us. But regardless, let's go ahead and get
Yeah,
this man out here. He's a writer, he's a comic creator, he's a YouTuber, he's the man, Dojo
That's right.
Kun.
Threepeat.
yeah.
It's and
Prepared.
Pedro's right. It's Dojo Kun.
Dojo
It's
Kun.
Doja Kun.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
saying
it's not.
Kun. Correct.
Yeah, Doja Kun is something else. It's like a
That's
convict.
sexual? No.
No,
Could be.
not. I mean, you can
Careful how
get
you pronounce
intercourse
it.
in jail. Yeah, you can get intercourse in jail. So probably. So yeah,
Mm,
it's Doja Kun.
right.
Yes.
Well, dude, jail intercourse in jail is like it's got to be horrible 99% of the time, except for that one time where it's like a conjugal visit, all right, and then like your wife comes in to
Mm.
see you, and you're like, "Oh, thank God, I'm not being raped right now by some guy."
Ah, dude, I don't know. Like to me,
No,
it's just I'd rather avoid thinking about it.
well, yeah,
You know,
I
it's
mean,
just
it's
How
nobody.
why,
about avoid
why?
jail altogether?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
Not as
exactly.
bad.
Because of why.
yeah. Well, all right. Okay, so Brian, thank you for joining us, buddy. Love having you
Yeah,
back,
it's good to
dude.
be here.
Appreciate it. Yeah.
Hey, dude,
Real quick
it's
in
awesome.
the chat, I see also a former guest of the show, friend of the show, the brilliant star that shines through the night, the fishing net that ensnares evil. Riser Man stands before you. What's up, Neo Star?
Hey.
Thanks for coming by, brother. He says, I can't imagine enjoying some doo-doo beans coffee.
Right.
Brian,
Yeah,
what's your take on it, bud? Are you a
Okay,
coffee
so-
guy or?
Yeah, I was afraid you were going to ask. I like coffee with so much sugar in it, the spoon will stand.
No.
Hold on.
So,
Right.
yeah. Do I like coffee? No, I guess the answer is actually no, because I try to sweeten it too much. I like a little bit of coffee with my sugar.
Right.
Exactly. I mean, there's no shame. The things that people have make coffee something like a snob. I don't know how to say, like
Starbucks
or whatever.
largely, right?
Oh, there's definitely
but dude,
you're absolutely right.
Yeah, but yeah, in the end, like if you enjoy the thing, drink it. You know, like you should be like going like, well, where that bean came from? Like really,
Right.
you want like. I only drink my coffee if it was picked up by underage virgin and Betahunan girls from the
mountains of Colombia.
Yeah, exactly. Like, dude, that's just dumb.
Yeah.
Drink your coffee and get on with your day.
No, I feel you there. There is this like new sort of hipster industry, and we were actually kind of talking about it with our guest last week about how there's this new sort of emergence of like home artisans. I kind of see it in a positive way, but it is a lot of hipsterism to some degree, but they're looking for an outlet and they're doing it creatively. Like you've got a bunch of people on YouTube making like leather products from like hand, like using hand tools, right? They're making belts and wallets, right? You've got a lot of coffee nerds online that are like really getting into the art form. They're making something deeper of it. I think they're scratching at some meaning, you know, and passion. So I kind of find myself enjoying it, but no, there's a lot of like people looking for new ways to do that. I don't know if you guys have noticed
the whole hipster leather thing is like the things like if they weren't making videos about it and just do it, you know, and then offer the product, it's just like, oh, look at me, I want to be like a pioneer settler or whatever. It's like, dude, stop it. Because before that, they were riding on motorcycles with the like carny mustache, and now they're doing leather. Like it's still stupid.
You know what though? On the other hand, at least they're creating, not hating.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So
they're making me hate.
I got to give them credit for at least getting out there with their creativity, no matter how niche or hipster it is. I say, good for them, and if they've got the audience, even better.
Yeah, it's sort of a business play in a lot of ways, because there are some people that do have curly mustaches. I've been getting into all kinds of things, like really high level barbers. A guy who spent like 10 years as a stand-up comedian in China, who in tea houses, right? So he's like, now he's got a YouTube channel. Of course, he's got a tea store where he curates, teas from China. But a lot of these guys, the leather makers, the tea dudes, the coffee guys, even the barbers have their own product lines. A lot of it is similar to what we do. Is, we're all essentially online marketers and sales.
Yeah.
So they're
but
building
but
a
we're
brand
selling we're selling comics. Like you told me, like was this comedian American or was he Chinese?
He's an American comedian who
I want to punch him in the mouth.
Why?
Why do you want to make your life that difficult? Like I do stand up in Spanish. I've tried doing it in English. It's really hard. And then doing it in a tea house where people are trying to enjoy tea. That sounds like he's trying to annoy people. I just want to punch him in the face.
I think he was like the sort of, from the videos I saw, he's like the only white guy there, and they had like a Chinese version of SNL. And he's like, a lot of his comedy is look at how silly us Americans are. And like, he's got a bit where he's like talking about the different, and we sort of do that here too, right? Where we'll make fun of people's accents, but he's like doing like making fun of people's Boston accents, right? Like removing the R's and like Boston.
You guys can't say it. You guys can't say it, so I'm gonna. You guys can't say it, so I'm gonna say it for you. White people need to make a comeback, man. This whole thing, like selling yourself short, it's old. I don't know, man. Like,
it is strange.
No, dude. If we try that, we'll get canceled.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but cancel from where? Like, you'll never work in Marvel. Oh my God.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I wouldn't even if they offered.
Yeah, like you'll never work at DC again. You can make or you won't be able to make gay Green Lantern.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, wow. I know Tim Sheridan. Jesus, God. This is also sort of, what's the word? Innuendo? Soft taco coffee? Anybody care for it?
Oh, I didn't think of it that way, but now that you say that,
that sounds like a special move.
Yeah, the old soft
baby, have you tried the soft taco coffee, baby?
Yeah.
So she's got brown skin.
Yeah, right. Probably. Yeah. Well, we have plenty of soft taco coffee down here. If we go by that definition.
Funny bone coffee. Okay, what are we doing here, Neo? Are we just throwing out brand names and seeing what sticks?
What sticks? Yeah.
All right, I like it. Okay, so Brian, how you doing, bud? How's life out there in the comic book world for you?
Actually, right now, a little slow. I'm sort of getting by. The campaign that hopefully we'll have a chance to talk about in a little while here. I think that I need to look outside our normal circle of indie friends, because one of the things that's going on is I've been shilling this to a lot of the same folks, and those that want to back it, I think already have. So I'm glad that on this platform that I'm using, Fund My Comic, that Luke Stone put together, what I think I like about that is he gives you the opportunity to pick more than 60 days, for example. So I've got that campaign is set to go for a year. And, the reason I did that is so that I have the opportunity to reach out to people in either the mainstream, I don't mean mainstream comics, I mean mainstream readers, basically, people who are looking for indie comics, but aren't necessarily just in the small circles that I run in. And also, too, I want to reach those people that are that read novels. And I've reached out to a couple novel, book reviewers. And the reason I did that is this comic, as we'll talk about in a little bit, is based on a trilogy of novels. So there's some good crossover potential there.
Absolutely. Wonderful.
Oh, awesome, dude.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and pull the campaign up. Go ahead, Pedro.
The things that I find it, I mean, funny is not the word, but I find it interesting that's the thing. Like, we need to expand our fan of customers in that way, because I don't want to say like comic book sales. Like, I'm not like a doomster. So like, comics are dying, because they're not. Like, dude, like the manga market, it's healthy. It's healthy. But how do we get that people interested in what we're doing? And what Dojo is trying is awesome, because we have to go outside of people who already know comics are awesome, and then just get it. Like, dude, like, I know you're enjoying your like Chainsaw Mans and your Jujutsu Kaisen and your I don't know, like Brandon Sanderson books. But check this out. This is a good story. I know you've been let down by DC and Marvel, but this is not DC and Marvel. This is just good storytelling in comic book form. So
now Neostar's got it. Healing Wars coffee.
I like it.
I like it.
I'll have a cup. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In fact, one of the characters in the book is a brewmaster.
Oh, there you go.
That's perfect.
No, that actually, I mean, I don't know if it could be something to look at, like a small run of like Healing Wars coffee as a perk. I mean,
oh my gosh,
to check on the numbers, right?
Stretch goal or something. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, there's some companies that do that. They already have the coffee. You just come out with the logo, to stamp it on it.
Oh, yep. Oh yeah. He's like, for real? Sweet. Yeah, there really is a brewmaster in there. It's not a main character, but it's cool that his son wants to continue with the family practice. And
I like it. Very nice. That's another one of those sort of hipstery things. Not really hipstery necessarily, but hipsters sort of flock to it. But like local breweries, it was sort of, you remember like 10 years ago when everybody was they were making their own beers at home.
Are you switching to beer? Yeah, I'm talking the brewing of coffee here.
Oh, okay.
That's the kind of brewmaster.
Ah, really? Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, the most stick to
the microbrewery. Yeah, stick to the coffee. The microbrewery craze was a phase. But a lot of good brewmasters came out of that, so I can't really complain about it.
Yeah, no, I'm not dogging on anybody. God bless them. You know, we're just merely commenting on decades past, my friend.
Making an observation.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kick this trailer off, guys. What do you say?
Yeah, cool.
Do it.
Naya is an orphan with a rare gift. Others with this gift can take pain from a person and transfer it into the cobalt blue metal known as pinvium. But Naya's gift is flawed. She can only transfer pain from one person to another. Orphaned on an island nation occupied by a conquering enemy and trying to locate her missing sister, Naya has to make sure they don't find out, or she'll be weaponized against her own people. Be sure to back Janice Hardy's The Healing Wars, Book 1, Part 1, The Shifter, from Dojo Kun Comics.
Wonderful.
Good. Yeah, short and sweet, right?
My bad, guys.
Yeah. The way it should be. Like sometimes, like unless you have something catchy going on the trailer, it's better to keep it concise. And that's something that I tell people. Like, yeah, like I want to have like 2 minutes of trailer. Like, I mean, if I'm animated, not only is that going to be expensive, but I'd rather hear what you want to say in the trailer. And once I hear it, it's always like, dude, you can do that in 45 seconds to 30 seconds. So that's the thing. Like, you don't need like a long expose to catch people's attention. You keep it short and sweet, catchy, and dude, works.
Absolutely. And really great voiceover guy. Who is that? Somebody off of Fiverr, or is that a friend of yours?
It is somebody off of Fiverr, and he's the second guy to do In a World.
Oh, really?
The first guy who is known for that, he passed away. So this guy is now the one hired to do it. This guy has done 45,000 voiceovers.
Holy shit.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he's done a lot. And he's affordable, surprisingly affordable, and very quick.
Wonderful.
Like he says, give me 3 business days. You might get it that day.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Work ethic. And he's just in the booth all day. Yeah, just working
just cranking
it out.
out the voiceovers, making the bank.
What was the name of that first guy who did the In a World? It's funny you mentioned him because I heard about him the other day and his name stuck in my head. I'm like, I gotta remember that.
But you didn't.
Yeah, no, I did.
It didn't start that hard.
It's
no, I don't know.
I don't remember, but it's like a really catchy name. That's why I was like, oh yeah. That might be a piece of trivia I need someday. And here we are, like a week later.
I remember the buffer guy. Like, let's get ready to rumble.
Oh yeah,
like, I remember that guy, but not the In a World guy.
Yeah, Michael Buffer. That's Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Michael Buffer.
Bruce Buffer. Yeah, Bruce Buffer's his brother. That's the UFC guy. Yeah, so
cool.
Yeah, one's the boxing guy.
I love them in
let's see.
Yeah. I love them in Don't Mess with the Sohan. You did a great job there. Whoa, bridge. Yes.
Yeah, that's a Sandler flick I actually never caught. Don't mess with the Zohan.
You never seen that, dude. It's so like pertinent to the state of the world right now. You should watch it.
Well, okay, very well. I'm a huge Adam Sandler fan. It just some of his movies are unwatchable. I tried the other day.
They're all unwatchable.
It's a silly mess. Yeah, exactly. You don't expect to watch like Ben-Hur or Chariots of Fire when you're watching a Sandler flick.
No,
it's Adam Sandler.
I mean, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore are among 2 of my favorite movies.
Those were flukes. Those movies make sense.
Yeah, they're lightning in a bottle, both of them. Like it would be really hard to recreate the
pinnacle of his career would be The Waterboy for me. And I'm not saying The Waterboy is a good movie. It's like, Sandler.
Yeah.
What he can do with what he brings, Waterboy.
Did you guys see Uncut Gems? Brian, did you see Uncut Gems?
If you're talking another Sandler movie, no, I don't watch any of his movies.
You might want to try Uncut Gems because it's not a comedy movie at all. He's not playing any version of Adam Sandler at all. He's a banker or a jeweler in the New York City jewelry district, and he's like this really heavy gambling addict, and he gets in way too deep, way too quick, and just keeps biting at the apple and fucking himself. The movie it's incredible. It's just I mean, it's just I don't even want to say too much because it might spoil things, but it's like
okay,
totally 100% away from anything he's done. And just in terms of a great movie and a great story that keeps you hooked in, because he's such a piece of shit, but it's like you're still rooting for him. You know what I mean?
It's a little bit.
Yeah, it's like a train wreck.
Yeah, but everything is by his own hand. You know, because of his gambling addiction. It's like it's a great movie. You might want to try it. Yeah. Anyways, enough of that mess, shall we? So tell us. I'm curious, buddy. How did you meet Janice Hardy? Tell us about her.
Okay, yeah. It was definitely serendipitous. So my wife read the trilogy, and she knew that I liked books like Song of Ice and Fire, The Sword of Truth, The Wheel of Time. And she said, now this trilogy is aimed at a little bit younger audience, but I still think you'd really like it. So give it a try. And if you don't like the first one, obviously don't continue reading the trilogy. But I really, really liked it a lot. So I had just finished reading it, and I happened to be talking to my friend Steve. I don't normally talk about the books I read with my friends, but I just finished it. So it was top of mind. And I said, hey, you know what? This was better than I ever expected. You might like to read this too. And Steve goes, oh, I've read that. Do you want to talk to the author?
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, I work with her husband. So it's like, oh my gosh. So not only did, my wife randomly picked this, and then she had me read it, and I just happened to mention to my friend, he happens to know the author's husband. So he got us in touch, and I pitched adapting her trilogy into comic book form. And she is somewhat of a comic book fan, not like the three of us, but she's a comic book fan. And she said, yeah, that's a great idea. I love the sound of that. So we hammered out a licensing deal. And for the time being, this is an exclusive license for Dojo Kun Comics.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Awesome, bro. That's
great. I have the opportunity to make things like the ash can you see there on the right, which is the making of the comic book. There's a coloring book that's going to come as an add-on here. That's right there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So there's. So
you mentioned this is aimed at the younger people. Could this be considered YA?
It could be considered YA, absolutely. Yes. I hesitate to say that it's just a YA book though, because certainly adults can enjoy it. It's just I like to say that this is definitely appropriate for all ages.
Yeah, for example, like if you compare it to a book that could be enjoyed by adults but a young kid could do, like Aragon, for example.
Yes.
I mean the movie was dog shit, but the books are actually like a good introduction to fantasy for a 14-year-old.
Sure they are, yeah. So, and another set of books, there's two other trilogies that I would compare this to, and that would be either The Hunger Games or Divergent. It's a female protagonist who starts off with very meager beginnings, and then she goes through the hero's journey like many stories do. And this isn't a mirror image of those. This is obviously told in Janice's style, but I would say that it's comparable to those.
Oh, because that could affect the way you market this. Because if you want to market, it's for young adults, but anyone else can read it. Not a Harry Potter campaign, because that was very organic. But what they did with Aragon, what they did with the Hunger Games, what they did with not Divergent, because Divergent was very confusing, that marketing. But how to make it appeal with the music, with maybe play a little bit with the logos to present it in your just make it look like very, very young. Like that could work. And but I said, you mentioned you are a fan of the Wheel of Time.
Yes.
Taishara Manatharan. I'm a freaking Wheel of Time nerd too. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That I was speaking in the old tongue.
All right. Yeah, I'm afraid I'm not quite that deep into it.
I'm embarrassing.
It's all right. Hey, Shadowhawk. Hey, buddy. No, you did just kind of do that thing where it's like the Star Trek nerd starts speaking Klingon to somebody, and they're like,
yeah, I did. But the thing is, like, I really enjoyed, like, that's one of the books that, I mean, I read the first book when I was like 17, and I read all the 14 books all the way through. So they've been with me my whole life. And
wow, okay.
Even though it's supposed to be considered like simple, like not that convoluted, very straightforward fantasy story, but before that there was nothing. Before, I mean, alongside the Wheel of Time, there was like a Game of Thrones, which you get a book every 6 years or so. You had Malice in Book of the Fallen. You know, there wasn't that plethora of
the Dritz
fantasy
series is pretty big, right?
Oh, but Eric Salvatore, that's Forgotten Realms, and so that's more like D&D. So it's a thing. If you play D&D, you enjoy the books a little bit more. And there's another series of The Lies of Locke Lamora. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Nope.
So it's a story about rogues. So it's really cool because it's basically like Ocean's 11, but in Venice, like Renaissance setting.
Do they have powers by chance? Is it like does somebody have like a poison power?
No, there's magic, but it's very, very subtle magic. So it's not really like high fantasy. So it's really cool because these guys get like in way above their heads. And I love the name of the band because they're called like the Gentleman Bastards. And dude, it's just awesome. Like all the characters, like you have your picklocker,
I like
your bruiser, the guy with the plan. So it's a fun read. The Lies of Locke Lamora.
If you're looking for a couple of other authors that have long-standing fantasy series, look up David Eddings or Raymond Feist. His name is actually Raimundo, but it's Raymond Feist is the name he goes by in his pseudonym. And both of those series are just incredible. I read all of those series. Another fantasy novel, or those two are both fantasy novelists.
Wonderful.
Janice does a lot of great world building here. She, in some instances, uses her own, not language, but like slang every now and then. And I think it works perfectly. Like if she's talking about somebody has arthritis, she calls it knuckle burn instead, for example. And, so clever things like that she intersperses throughout the books. So Naya is like the trailer said, she can't transfer the pain from a person into that metal. What they do when they are able to do that is they transfer it into weapons. And then when the weapon strikes you, you get obviously the pain from the weapon itself, plus all the pain that was transferred into it.
Ouch.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very emotional, but in a more poetic kind of way. I actually kind of dig the concept.
That reminds me of my school nurse.
Oh God.
Cool.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry, Brian.
I was just going to say that Naya herself, though, can't transfer it to the weapons. She can only transfer it from one person to another. So technically, she becomes the weapon, and she doesn't want the conquering enemy, the people who have occupied her country, to know that, or they'll weaponize her against her own people. So that's something she's got to lay low. She's both an orphan and homeless. So she's got a lot of things on her plate to overcome.
No doubt. No, I like it.
Wow.
I like the concept a lot. I'm a big fantasy guy too, especially YA. Actually, that's always been a genre growing up. It just sort of takes you away somewhere, but you still get that element of safety. You know what I mean? It's like, but not in a bad way. Some people hear that and be like, well, then there's nothing fun about it. It's like, no. It's like, it's just a different.
Like there's no stakes, but no.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff. It's just a genre type. But real quick, so I am curious, Brian, is there because to me this seems like one you'd try to get into a bookstore, right? Like Books A Million, we got that down here. Is that plans? Do you have plans for that while you have the license, or?
That would be amazing. Yeah. Basically, the first step, of course, is to get this first book funded. If we can get this funded, that will open up a lot of opportunities because I'll be able to get this into some local bookstores and then perhaps get the attention of the chain.
Right.
like Books A Million, or we have Books A Million here in Michigan too. So I know what you're talking about there.
Right.
And that would be great if we could do that. There's a bookstore called Second and Charles here in Michigan, and they started in Ohio, I think. But in addition to the fact that they're a bookstore, they're also a comic book store. So that would be a perfect opportunity for something like this, to maybe put it on a stand with the comic books on one side and her novels on the other, and just show this is like one big Healing Wars display. That'd be great.
Yeah.
And I'm also hoping that Hollywood pays attention. Now, obviously, I wouldn't directly benefit from that. Indirectly, I would. If Hollywood, options the rights from Janus, then of course that would increase the interest in this, and people might be looking for Healing Wars products, and then come and see Dojo Kun has some comic books. So it could be a great spiral.
Actually, you know what would be a curveball, because Hollywood is in shambles? How about getting Ben Key's attention?
I'm sorry, who's?
Ben Keys.
Bent Key?
Ben Key is Ben Shapiro's production company, and they're looking for material for kids
the Daily Wire
and youngsters, the Daily Wire guys. And they're the guys making like the Snow White, and dude, you see the real in animation for what they're coming with, and it looks amazing.
Okay.
So that's a you could yeah.
Nice.
Aside from Hollywood, those guys are making money.
Oh, jolly good show. No, I like the idea. And as soon as you mentioned, like right before you hit the, I could totally see a standee, like the main character, like, holding one side where it's the comic books and the novel on the other side. Definitely. Right. Okay, so let's dive in a little bit more here, buddy. Okay. Real quick though, I do want to just check in on the chat here, because I think we broke Neostar earlier. Yeah, he's just been going on a coffee binge.
Oh, with the coffee thing?
Yeah, Hidden Gem. Yeah. Uppercut. Shadowhawk coffee. Anybody care for a cup? I don't know. You get feathers in your mouth. Jumbo Jerk coffee. Knuckle Burn coffee. Cobalt Pain coffee.
Cobalt Pain coffee. All right. A lot of different opportunities here.
Getting hit in the face with a shovel with Cobalt Pain coffee.
Yeah. You get a shovel to the knee.
Wake up, bitch. Dang.
Wake up and dang.
Okay, so let's take it from the top here, buddy. Who's our art team, and because this right here, this is.
So wait, before we get to cover B, let's look at the first cover. That is by Zilson Costa. He's Brazilian. He is the interior artist, and he's also the artist. If you remember, he did Siamese 3 and 4 for me. So I've worked with him for years now. I mean, that's going back all the way to like 2014. He and I have worked together. So I'm glad to have him on the project. Unrelated to Zilson Costa. Well, I'm sorry. So cover B is Renzo Rodriguez. Okay.
Oh, Renzo.
Nice. Renzo did this one.
Oh, Renzo.
Yes. Yeah. And unrelated to Renzo is Josh Rodriguez, who colored both of the covers.
Oh, cool.
Like it.
Okay, I have a question though. That sword design, is that like a Kopesh inspired?
It's a lot like a Kopesh, yeah. The only downside to that sword design is trying to find a sheath that will fit it.
Yeah.
But
dude,
there's that.
Like a stab wound with that must be brutal.
Particularly if they put it in and then yank it back out of you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like a barb.
Wound, man. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, no, I definitely dig Renzo's art. I've talked with him a few times behind the scenes. He's as nice as they can be, and also
and he's a beast.
Yeah, and very cooperative. The example I give is when he first gave me a sketch of this cover, he made her way too sexy. Now this character is only about 15, so I was like, dude, we got to tone that down a bit. He's like, oh, okay. So he put the chicken in a strategic location, and then he turned her waist a little bit so that her ass wasn't toward the camera.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay,
but that's the thing. Like some artists, and it's not every day, but we just need an excuse to draw titties. So
that's right.
It's really good when people who commission us let us know, like, dude, this is the age group we're aiming for,
right?
So we can tone down the TV.
He also softened her facial features to make her look younger. So that was
was
good.
Yeah. I mean, she's still beautifully rendered, and it really gives me a 90s comic styling vibe. Like his shapes are just
but that's Renzo. That's Renzo. Like, dude, he
definitely
has really good like notion of where to work with shapes and three-dimensionality. And then you see like the Copish is helping with the depth, like invading her form there. So you can see she's behind. Not only because you can see his head, so perspective wise, it's, I don't know, it's like little elements like that you know, like he knows what he's doing with composition.
It definitely puts a lot of depth to the picture entirely.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
great. So how did you come across your interior guy? Was this, I'm sorry, is this the guy you worked with on Siamese, or?
Right. Yes. Zilson Costa came in at number 3 and 4 of Siamese when the guy who did 1 and 2 had to bow out. And it's interesting, even just a little quick aside, the reason he bowed out was his actual money-making job was he was a portrait painter, and he was commissioned to do the portrait of someone's deceased son. So he said, I'm sorry, I've got to go do this. I mean, he makes like, oh, maybe I shouldn't say. He makes a ton of money on those portraits, so it made perfect sense to me that he needed to spend his time on that. But I was referred to Zilson, the one who did 3 and 4, and now doing the Shifter, by Dan Sen is his name. I don't know if you've heard of Dan, but Dan does a lot of comic books, and he did the comic book called Nature Man, who was the what's it called when they're the public domain character Nature Boy, but grown up. So he's got a pretty successful comic book company going. Dan Sen does, and he suggested that I contact Zilson. And Zilson's been great to work with. If you scroll down just a little bit, one of the things I asked him to do was show Naya going from merchant to merchant. That's it right there. Looking for a job. Because like I said, she's homeless. She's orphaned. And he said, oh, I've got an idea. So he came back with this page here that shows the puzzle pieces of her morning. And I thought, that is brilliant. And he'll do that a lot, where I'm the kind of author when it comes to comic books where I write it like it's a script, like you would see from a play or a screenplay. So I have every bit of dialogue, every bit of blocking and camera angles and all that already decided. However, I know that an artist is just as much a storyteller as the writer is. Hey, Doc, thanks for being here. Oh, and
we got Doc and
yeah,
yes,
right. So because they're storytellers too, I make sure to give them leeway. So if I suggest a panel and he likes the idea, he'll draw it exactly the way I wrote it. But every now and then he'll say, is it okay if I try? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, try it. You're the artist. You have the vision for this sort of thing. What have you got? Let me see. And 95% or more of the time, I go with his idea better.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's what you pay the man for, and he's did a great job. I've seen this shared on Twitter a couple times. This is a very well thought out way to execute this with the puzzle pieces.
Definitely. Definitely proud of that page. So that's why I show it as an example of the interior art to get people interested. Now, this next page here, those
and that's a 10-panel page. Those are hard.
That's true.
2, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11. We got 11 panels.
11 panels. Wow.
11 panels. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Okay. Great job, boys.
Even worse. That sounds like a nightmare to me.
Yeah. That's great.
So this next page here, the top 2 panels are a great example of the reason he's such a beast at getting pages done. When it calls for that background there, that's one thing. And he doesn't spend a ton of detail on the character's facial features, for example. They're just sort of way in the distance. Yeah. But when they're close up, he's excellent at drawing facial expressions and portraying what's being said or what's happening in the picture. So that one on the top right is a perfect example of what's being said. I'm not going to tell you what's being said there because it's surprising the redhead, which I'm sure that Ginge appreciates it. We've got the ginger here in the story.
Oh, Steve, buddy. I was going to ask her name.
It's Aylin.
Aylin. All right.
Aylin.
That's my girl.
She's the main character's best friend.
All right. I'll take it.
But that's the thing. Like you set up spatial awareness of where they are, like basically sitting on the wall, and then you get like the flavor for the age, like the architecture and whatnot. The second panel is not needed.
Oh, so right, exactly.
On the face. Yeah.
Yep.
Well done.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is just experience, really. Like this page just reads experience all the way around. This is a guy that's drawn a comic page or two.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it shows somebody who knows what they're doing, knows where to be detailed and where it's not necessary. Yep, I agree.
Right. Very nice. So also this page kind of looks, and I know maybe you don't want to spoil it, but this page kind of looks like the turning point where we've had our introductions and we've done our setup, and this sort of looks like the moment where we're getting into the adventure. Is that, you could just say whether I'm right or wrong. Okay.
No, you're right. In the bottom left panel, way in the distance, there's somebody hiding behind that bush watching her. And that right there sparks, like, it starts to show why or how she's in peril.
All righty. Okay.
And then while she's dealing with those, worries and concerns, while she's there hiding under that bush on that page right there, there's a huge accident between the steamboat ferries. So those two, they collide. A bunch of people are thrown in the water, and she's forced to reveal to at least some people her ability to heal. And because she can do that, that puts herself in more danger, because now people know she can do that, and she's going to be sought after. And then in the bottom right panel, you see she's being grabbed by somebody from behind.
There we go. And this is, this whole page is just mwah, which means delicious.
Yes.
Mwah.
Yeah, right.
Very nice. Okay. That's all we've got on the preview pages. I appreciate that. We can't be blowing our load too early, gentlemen.
That's right. No premature articulation.
Don't you hate those? Isn't that the worst? Where you like,
okay. I don't know. You'll have to explain after the show. I don't know anything about those.
Right. So then we've got the coloring book. This is another one I would see is like on that little display case. Where it's
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, something for everybody there.
Right. Some of the pages in the coloring book are pages from the comic that are just not, colored, and they can use their crayons or markers. Whereas some of them, though, are not in the comic book. They're pinups that have been done by other artists.
So as I'm thinking about it a little bit more, this might be one to really push heavy on the digital front as well, and put it on places, not necessarily webtoons, because it's not in that format. I don't know if they host like traditional American style comics.
No, you have to reformat. You have to reformat the page if you want to go to webtoon.
I would look in places similar to that, where there are a lot of sort of female young adult style readers. We've got like a 14 to probably like 25, 26 age range of.
Okay.
And there's just a lot of that's when a lot of people try to compare like the American market to the Japanese manga market. There is a big sales difference, right? And a lot of it is shonen too, right? Like your Naruto's and your Takashi schools or whatever the hell it is. But there's probably I'd even venture a larger half of it is like female readership in like looking for something like a webtoons style, not in the delivery of like the up and down, but in the like genre content.
Yeah, but with this style, I would recommend more tapas than webtoons.
Right. Yeah. I wouldn't reformat it. I'm just saying something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, tapas. It's called tapas. And the thing is, like, the thing with tapas is that to monetize this is very difficult. So what you do is, like, you reformat it to sell it as teasers. Like, every week you put up, like, 3 to 4 panels of boom, boom, boom in the tapas format. And then people start reading it. And they're like, I want to know more. Hey, you want the book? You can get the whole thing, baby. And
right.
That's how people do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, treat it like meth. That's
The first bag is free.
That is what they do. They give you like a week of free coins. My girlfriend reads webtoons. Manta is another one. I'm not sure if she reads Tapas, but I've definitely heard of that one as well. Yeah, but those are places I would check out for sure. But yeah, let's carry on here, boys. So we've got the sketch cards by Dave Ryan. Tell us about Mr. Dave Ryan here.
Well, this is a one-of-a-kind sketch card, so there's just one available. Dave has worked in the industry, and he agreed to do this one-of-a-kind sketch card for me. This card is it's got his name on the back and his autograph on the back. But more than that, in addition to drawing it, inking it, he colored it, and in the colors, he included some glitter in her eyeliner, in her lips, and on her like manifestation of her power. So it's definitely not reproducible. So there's just going to be the one.
Let me pull that up here. I just threw it off in a tab to the side here. Put her on the big screen, boys. Woo! There we go. Nice. Love that little contrast with the darker.
Are you able to play the video? It's a video link that's right under the picture on the website. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. I just pulled up the picture. Let me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hold on. We got this a video. Okay, hang on.
Jesus, Ginge.
What you mean, bro? Come on.
Gotta be ready for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, right. Okay. Is that? Did it pop over? Or is it still on? No.
Hey, what's up, Lorenzo?
Hey, the funky. Yeah, the funky lizard himself, Lorenzo. What's up, Bubba?
There you go.
Okay, so it took me off link. So let me just.
Oh, okay.
Let me pull it up over here.
He likes the drawing of the human lady.
The human lady, yeah. Human ladies are good to look at.
That they are. That they are. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Pull this back a touch. All right.
That's hot.
That's the theme for my show, Incendiary.
Mr. Oh man, Brian, you are a dirty man. Mr. Menard, I do declare.
So tomorrow night at 10 o'clock.
What'd you say, Brian?
Tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, Incendiary is on. We're going to have Edwin the Aces Acevedo. We're going to be talking about his book, Bloodbone. And we're going to be talking about, can a creator have too many campaigns?
Oh, okay. Incendiary. You are a bit of an incendiary guy, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I've struck a nerve a couple of times lately.
How do you like your show? How's it been going lately? Are you enjoying yourself?
Or? Oh, it's definitely fun. Yeah, we intentionally pick topics that are incendiary. It's all tongue in cheek. It's not meant to be taken so seriously, and particularly people either they're misunderstanding it on purpose for their own narrative, or they're just too stupid to understand that a debate is meant to be fun. So like we had one called, do women belong in comics? We all agree, yes, they do. There's just maybe a couple specific ones that we'd like to see hit the road, like Kennedy.
I disagree with that, but hey.
DeConnick. You disagree with Kennedy and DeConnick leaving?
No, women being in comics.
I know. So that's the kind of fun we have on the show. It's all tongue in cheek. We even play a disclaimer at the beginning of the show that says the views expressed by the panelists on the show are not necessarily their views. It's all on purpose. We intentionally have the guest pick who's going to be on their side of the debate, and then he puts two other people on the other side of the debate. Whether they agree or not, they've got to be on the other side. So it's all meant to be fun. Anybody who thinks otherwise is just being stupid.
Right. Very nice. I like the setup of it almost allows you to go a little more hard. Like if everybody's just having fun, as long as everybody can keep the element of, guys, this isn't real, right? It's like you can almost play a character of yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can. Yeah. I think that Jake was on the side of, no, women don't belong in comics. He went full on misogynist, man. He was like, absolutely not. They're wrecking everything. And we knew he was kidding around. Everybody should have known. But so
a little clip. Could we?
Okay. I was being a little bit hard.
What now?
But if they bring
You're cutting out, Mr. Ang.
They could be in comics, but if they're making the coffee and sandwiches.
You are
Can you
roboting.
hear me?
No, you're roboting and dropping out quite a bit.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I'll shut up.
No. That's you actually sound better now.
Go on with the show.
It's better now. It's
Yeah,
better.
you're back.
The moment's gone. The moment's gone.
Okay.
Let's keep.
That is the. Let me scroll up to where it makes a little bit of sense for you, Lorenzo. This is, of course, Fund My Comic. The shifter.
Fund My Comic.
Right now, I'm just scrolling through. Brian, if it's all right with you, buddy, I'd like to just maybe pull up a little clip from your show.
Oh, sure.
A little. Let's see. What?
Intentional EFAPing without the hateration going on.
Okay, so let's find that one about the women. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, we had Carissa Grant on the show that night. Obviously, a woman in comics. So we were doing that on purpose. And yeah, we had fun.
All right, I've got it here. Let me pull it up. All right, this is my first EFAPing ever. Guys. You guys are taking my virginity.
Oh
all right.
Popping the cherry.
Let's do it, boys. Okay, now.
We even have a woman panelist on the show.
Yeah, Fanta. Nice.
Yeah.
That's PG Jim. Just an indie comic jam in general.
Oh, my favorite German rock band.
So where about is the?
It's about. I was gonna say it's about 2.5 minutes in. The intro is not very long.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Let's kick her off here.
Thank you.
Yeah, you bet. And then, of course, next.
You guys hear it? Okay.
Let's see. This one. No, it sounds pretty distant.
Hey,
Yes.
let's go.
Oh, you're still on the intro. Carissa Cho. There you go. Women do belong in comics.
Oh, good.
He's like, oh, good, because that's the side I want to be on.
Well, now I don't have to go through all my comics and cut out the women. So.
Oh, great. So you're making the joke along with Dave Brink. Very nice. Okay, so here, the Don chimes in. Everyone belongs in comics. Men, women, gay, straight, dead or undead. If you've got a love of comics and a story in your heart, you belong. Read them, write them, draw them. It's an open door.
So how do you guys end the show, dude? Does it settle on like one team wins, or is it just
we just jokingly declare the guest the winner pretty much every time. And what we do about 30 minutes into the show is we start shilling the guest's product. They're gonna, if it's a comic book or a novel or whatever it is that they're there to shill, we only do the debate for about 35 minutes.
So hearing about your characters, because we're getting to that time, Dojo, where we're gonna be looking.
And there he is. Peter's giving me the heads up. I tell him to be my clock man. He's supposed to say, dude, it's time to go look at their campaign. And so yeah, we have fun. We sort of wrap it up with a lame segue, usually like, oh, you mentioned women. Well, Carissa's a woman. What has she got to sell? That kind of thing.
Very nice. I like it. You found a format that is fun and is also unique too, in a way, like, you know, a game show style debate almost. I like it.
That was the idea. We want to do something fun with it rather than just say, well, here's Carissa and here's her campaign, because, you know, it gets to be tiring for the guest, and in this way we have a little bit of fun with them first. Get them, if it's somebody like Carissa who hasn't been around us much before, it gets her to know us better, to be familiar and comfortable with us before starting to shill her book. Now, Carissa in particular was warned. She was warned not to come on my show because I'm CG. And she's like, whatever. So she came on the show anyway. She said, and a bunch of her friends who was warning her came in the chat and ended up liking the show and subscribing. So yeah, it's what we need to do on a lot of these shows like yours and mine is to show that the narrative that people have about CG, particularly when they are only shown maybe a couple of people who are indeed the assholes, if they could just see some of the people who are good people who talk about comics regardless of what label you want to throw at them, That's the kind of following we need. We need people who just like escapism, entertainment for the sake of comic books.
Absolutely. I completely agree. And I personally try to run myself like that or conduct myself like that on Twitter or even with the YouTube channel. We've had on Melissa Barreras, who's didn't work at Marvel, I don't think, but she's like one of the main heads. Well, she's like one of the main heads of, well, like the Power Ranger series. She was on IDW's Power Ranger and is on the current one with Boom. She's also doing Radiant Pink, which is part of Kyle Higgins' Radiant Black series, his universe. But one, she was looking to promote her book, and so I just offered her to come on, and she was nice enough to, not tell me to go fuck myself. And, when she came on, I feel like we had a pretty great conversation, and there was nothing.
Great to hear that.
Chat was a little rowdy, like they were sort of, because she kind of did hit a little bit of the classic, I forget even what she said, but there was like a few like
being a nice person.
Yeah, there was like a few of like your classic trademark lines that you hear from more like lefty creators, right? It was over a year ago now. It was almost like probably 2 years now, but she was in the earlier episodes. But point being, it's like, we I think did a good job, and I hope we left a fair taste in her mouth about the community.
Yeah, see, the thing is, we welcome anybody that wants to come on to talk about their comic books. We're not worried about labels. We just want to have fun and talk about this hobby that we all enjoy. I mean, bottom line, this isn't what I do for a living, so I just want to have fun with this. And when it stops being fun, I'll just stop doing it.
Well, there you go. Absolutely.
Yep.
I feel you. Okay, wonderful.
Jim O'Reilly in the chat. How you doing?
Oh, hey, Mr. Jim O'Reilly. Hello, everyone. Well, hello to you.
Hey, what's up, Jim?
And we got Lorenzo doing the Lord's work. Thank you, buddy. Let's make sure to check out. Yep, and also in the episode description, I've got your Twitter. I've got the healer, the shifter. I've got that campaign, and also your YouTube for all the viewers out there in replay land. So awesome. We are coming up on an hour here, and if you could sit on for a little bit longer, Pedro, we did want to kind of talk about. We were talking behind the scenes. Tell us your latest update, if Brian, if you got time to.
Yeah, no worries.
How's life out there in the jungle?
Okay, so the jungle has been on fire for the last 38 days. We wanted to stop a strip mine operation that has been plaguing my country for the last 30 years. The company called Cobre Panama and his subsidiary is First Quantum Minerals from Canada. They were paying pennies on the dollar for their work, and they were destroying. It's called I'm translating from Spanish. That's why I'm sound like retarded. But we have
why.
Okay. Fair enough.
Just
we have this thing called like the bio. It's the Mesoamerican Biospeedway. So lots of species come through Panama, coming from north to south and from south to north. And if you destroy the jungle, especially in that part where the mining operation was, birds won't have places to land and drink water. Some species of ocelot, which is like a kind of a big cat, the jaguar, the tapir, the capybara. Like there's several species that will be in danger because they can't go from north to south because it's just surrounded by like cyanide pools and like just open strip stretch of land that has no vegetation. So that was getting in danger. And also there's a river that is a subsidiary to the canal. And there's a problem right now because the canal doesn't have enough water. It's because the mine is taking some of the water from the canal. On top of the El Nino phenomenon. So like, dude, we don't want those guys here. So on October the 20th, the government renewed the contract for 30 years in a shotgun like approval. Like they put the law project on Friday, and by Monday it was approved, and the country just exploded. Like, we don't want this, and they thought it was gonna go, but it didn't go. Like, a reporter lost an eye during the riots.
That lawyer shot a guy, right? I don't know if you caught about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's 4 people dead, and two were killed by that lawyer. That lawyer is not American, so don't you worry. So yeah, some of people look at him as a hero. Like, dude, this is not because they thought this was like stop oil protesters down in Panama. Like, no, dude, we're fighting against this freaking copper mine that is just a symbol of what corruption does. And that why Panama doesn't have like a space program, because they steal everything. And yeah, dude, like they were saying, like, yeah, but go ahead.
You said that this was pushed through by your government, like basically overnight, a couple of weekend nights, and then you said that everybody thought it would go, but it didn't go. So what did they do to stop it from proceeding?
Okay, so basically, what we were trying to do is, I mean, ever since inception, the contract was unconstitutional because there was no bidding. Like, normally when you work with the Panamanian government, there should be a bid war with different companies. There was no bidding. So from that point, it's already unconstitutional. Some of the sessions that were given with the land, the air, they gave him a port. None of that is legal. Like, our constitution doesn't allow companies. I mean, you can't buy a beachfront. You can buy like right next to the beach, but you can't buy the beach. In Panama, you can even buy an island. That you get a concession for an island for a number of years, but it will never be yours. The Panamanian government gave this beachfront, this basically like a bay, so they can bring like the ships in to get the copper ore and gold ore and silver, and just take it away. So the first demand of unconstitutionality was set up in 2004. And this country is so corrupt in so many like bags of money came about that the first like ruling of constitutionality came out in 2017. We're talking from 2004 to 2017, but all those years the mine has been working illegally. And the thing is, like, that happened in 2017, and then the government was like, yeah, well, that's bad, but there's like $10 billion invested, like we can really kick them out, so let's renegotiate the contract. How about that, guys? And people was like, no, dude, we want them out. And then it exploded on October. So they're like, hey, so this is the new contract. Like, dude, we said we don't want a new contract. So now the new law is declared constitutional, and then they're saying like the company is going to take us to arbitration, but First Quantum hasn't said a word yet. Because they know, because they know what they've been doing is illegal. If they go to arbitration, they might go to jail. Because that's the thing. Like, if you're like mining without a clear practice, dude, like if the demand was set up in 2004, but the ruling came out in 2017, it doesn't take away from the fact that the demand of unconstitutionality was in 2004. So you've been working illegally all this year. That might not be retroactive, but you're not working with the proper permits to do mining, and you might go to jail. You know, so that's something, I don't know, man. Like, what's next? They're planning to close. Okay, the mine is closed and we abandon it. They have to clean up the cyanide pools. There's like sulfuric acid baths to like extract the ore that has to be like cleared out properly, because if they don't, it's just gonna contaminate all the rivers and whatnot. And then like that's on us now. Like get a reforestation program to set it back. Like this is gonna take years, but at least we stop the mining. So yeah.
Well, hooray! No,
awesome.
I mean, I can totally dig that. I mean,
it's great when the good guys win.
Yeah, absolutely. The idea of giving a shit about the Earth has kind of been co-opted by psychopaths and Looney Tunes, right?
Yeah, dude. That's the thing. Like, it's not. I love my gas guzzling car.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, I love oil.
Yeah.
I kill my own cows with my fist, and then I grill them. Like, but that doesn't mean I. Yeah, dude. That doesn't mean I don't love nature, man. Dude, I live surrounded by waterfalls, like right next to my property. There's like 20 minutes up. There's 3 waterfalls, one next to another. There's 2 more, like 40 minutes away. Wow. And if you drive like an hour, I don't know if you know who Omar Torrijos is, but that's like a.
But don't go chasing the waterfalls there, bud. I'll say that. Just
stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to.
Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, exactly. I think you're moving too fast. Yeah, so yeah, dude. That's the thing. Like living in nature, like, dude. Like yesterday morning, like I come up with my coffee, come up to the computer, dude. I see this huge tarantula walking through the rancho.
Okay,
like,
I'm out,
dude. Dude, but the thing is, like, it was peaceful. Like I wasn't gonna bother her. I didn't bother her. She's just like walking really slowly. She went to the rancho, like, and then got on the wall and left. Nice. And it was peaceful. It was peaceful. Like you see snakes all about.
Snakes, I'm okay with.
You don't see that many. Yeah, monkeys. Like you get to see monkeys.
Monkeys.
I'm just not okay with arachnids, bud.
Yeah, you like arachnids? I don't know. I like arachnids because arachnids kill a lot of bugs, man. So that's the thing. Like when you have like a decent spider population, there's not that many because
I don't know.
Things like there's a lot of bugs that will sting you and you'll get like freaky diseases. So you get to appreciate.
I think it's
just appreciate spiders.
I think it just depends on it, right? The type of spider for me. It's like an adorable jumping spider that's so tiny and he's just the size of your little pancake. And you're like, oh, aren't you a doll? Right. And then you've got a Goliath bird-eating spider it's like 2.5 feet and it's eating a bird above your head in the canopy. That's really truly a horrifying.
Dude, like I don't know, man. Like the one I saw, like that was like the size of my 2 fists.
Yeah, bro. No, man. I don't do snakes like that or spiders that size. Tarantulas are cool. Yeah. Once it eats a bird, once it's big enough to kill a snake, and the fact that its teeth are sharp enough like that, nah, man, it'll just bite you.
We do have deadly spiders here in Michigan. The brown recluse will kill you, but you can get away, and they're really small. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Nah, dude. Like I don't know. Do I have problem with life? Not really. Like
no. You made it this far.
No, I'm not.
What are you? 60?
Yeah, I'm not. Like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not gonna say like I'm not afraid of any predator, but like I don't know. Like I don't have like that kind of phobia. Like I hate clowns.
Yeah.
I can't do clowns.
I mean, jaguars, buddy, in your neck of the woods. I live in the woods myself, and if I saw a bear, I would shit my pants and run away.
Dude, I have a nice jaguar story. If you guys want to hear it,
we'll tie it off.
Dude, like we were at this national park called Parque Soberanía, which is really right next, like really not in the middle, but it's like a portion of Panama City is. The park is within the city.
Okay.
So it's really like different because normally when you go to national parks you have to drive for hours. Like Parque Soberanía is like right in the middle of Panama City, and you're not supposed to have like New York. Yeah, but if you go to Parque Soberanía, like it's the freaking jungle, man. Like
you
get like
your hobos and crackheads in New York. You got
spiders. You get like your spiders the size of a backpack, and like. Stuff like that. So we're walking, and we're almost to like it closes at 4 p.m. because they don't let you stay at night because it's not safe. And and we're listening, and we were listening to something that sounds like a cow. Like
right.
And we're like, is there a cow? Like we don't have buffalo here. Like, and it was a freaking jaguar, like in a tree branch looking at us making that sound. Like,
oh man.
And the park ranger's like, okay, we better move because he's about to pounce. So yeah, you don't want 500 pounds falling on your neck. It's like, hey, let's get out of here. So yeah, that's like,
how big they get?
Yeah.
Holy
a
balls,
jaguar is not a leopard, man. Like a jaguar is like a lion of the jungle. They're huge. And yeah, it's not a fun experience, man. And the sound was like deep. Like, you know what, when you listen to a bass that you feel it on your stomach.
Yeah.
Like that's how you felt that sound. And yeah, it's like, nah, dude. And we got to see him eye to eye. Like, we were not at the right angle for him to pounce on us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're not like jaguar shit now.
But I will tuck that away in case
yeah.
One day. It's like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pedro was eaten by a jaguar, everybody. So
yeah, exactly.
All right, boys. We are a little bit over an hour here, so we don't.
Yeah, it was a fun show, man. Thanks,
I appreciate you guys having me on. For those of you who back, I appreciate you. I hope you consider it. And if not, if you could just, tweet out the campaign. It's on Fund My Comic. Every little bit, every set of eyes on it helps hopefully get us funded. We've got quite a ways to go. We're only at 6%, but I'm optimistic that we can get there.
I agree. Absolutely. You've still got 318 days to go. So I can see it actually being a bit of a sort of an event, I guess, as a campaign should be, but it's an interesting angle having it from like fund that long. So I'm excited for you, buddy. I got a good feeling about it too.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay. So Brian, I'm gonna bump you to the back, sir. You're free to
hail everyone.
head out. Absolutely. You take care, brother.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. See you, Brian.
Boom, baby.
Jolly good show.
We did it, my friend. Jolly good show. Indeed.
Jolly good show.
Yeah, and a great chat. We had a lively chat here. I want to thank everybody that came by. Up here, there's this fancy little doohickey that tells you where your viewers are coming from. And we've got viewers on my channel, right? We've got viewers on Pop's channel, and we've got somebody out there in Twitch land. So, and they've been there a while. Yeah, we've had whoever that is on Twitch. It's been there a while. Thank you for watching. Yeah, God bless you.
Yeah.
And everybody in the chat, Lorenzo, that's my boy, also has a YouTube show where they mix things up over there as well. Jim O'Reilly, thanks for coming, sir. We'll have to get you on the show sometime. Shadowhawk.
It'll be awesome.
Hey.
Shadowhawk, the man.
Another YouTuber as well. We're just all like flies on shit around here.
Yeah, that we are.
We got Neostar, always a gem, a real jewel of a guy, a real mensch, this guy. No. All right, everybody. So do want to thank you all for watching. Next week we have, oh boy, we got John Hervey returning.
Hey.
Speaking of a gem of a guy, right? I'm not doing, that's just so much fun to say. He's a real jewel of a guy.
It's a jewel, yeah.
A real mensch, that guy. Anyways, we do want to thank everybody for watching, and we appreciate your time. And if you'd like to share or like, check out the description, and we will catch y'all next week on the Ginge